Hi there, Shadows fans, and welcome to another one of my polls, another Shadows related poll. And today I'd like to give you my top 10 favourite Shadows tracks that come from the 1970s. Yes, that's the 1970s. When you think of the Shadows, you automatically go back to the 60s and think of all the classics they had, all the big number ones. They all came from the 1960s. But as we know, the Shadows broke up in '68. Then they did their own thing for a little while, and then they had Marvin Welch and Farrah for a little while, and then they got back in 1975 as the Shadows for the Eurovision Song Contest. And then after that, it must have given them a boost because they started recording some fantastic albums like Specs Appeal. What else did they record? Rockin' with Curly Leads, Tasty, String of Hits, which got to number one in the album charts. And my number 10 track comes from that album, String of Hits, their number one UK album from 1979, and it's Parisian Walkways, a cover of the Gary Moore classic. He recorded it as a duet with Phil Lynott. Phil Lynott actually added some lyrics to it a couple of years later, and he released it as a single. But this is in the style that Gary originally wrote it as an instrumental. Parisian Walkways, love the Shadows version, so that's number 10. Number 9 is Song for Duke, their tribute to John Wayne, who had just recently died. And this was released as a single. It was on the String of Hits again. Absolutely fantastic track. Absolutely love it. Song for Duke. Number 8, I have another one that comes from String of Hits. I told you it's going to be featured a couple of times here, and it's Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. Absolutely fantastic track, which the Shadows said that they were performing it live, and it was the only time that they performed the track live that the crowd were actually shouting up, please record this track, record it. So they went and recorded it, and the version that appears on the String of Hits is a studio version, but they wanted to capture that live atmosphere, and they added some crowds cheering for the chorus when the chorus kicks in. But it's absolutely beautiful. Don't Cry For Me, Argentina was a top 10 single for them as well in 1978 or 79, and yeah. So that's my number 8. Number 7, I have that song that they featured in the Eurovision Song Contest. So the song that they sang in the Eurovision Song Contest, and just a fantastic track. They came second in the competition. This is an absolute classic track. Let Me Be The One. Absolutely love it. There's a couple of vocal tracks featured in this, and this is the first vocal track I have featured in my top 10. And it was sung by Bruce in the Eurovision, and he got the words wrong when it first aired. And I think he still kind of is embarrassed by the fact that he got the lyrics wrong at the start of the Eurovision. Anyway, big hit, absolute loved the track. I remember when they played in the final tour, when the Shadows came to Dublin for the final tour, I had 2 tickets and I had nobody to bring with me. I was single at the time. Nobody wanted to come with me to see the legendary Shadows. Seems absolutely crazy. Front seats, nobody wanted to come with me. So finally, one of my friends came, and he absolutely loved this track. He said it reminded him of Chaz and Dave, which I don't know whether that's a bit insulting or whatever, but he absolutely loves that, and he still talks about that deadly track that they performed in the final tour. So at number 6, I have another one that comes from this String of Hits, and it's Rodrigo's Guitar Concerto. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning track that comes from the String of Hits again. So I'm into my top 5 now, and these are all just stand out for me. I absolutely love these. I think these will always be my favourite Shadows tracks in the 1970s. The other ones, I think you could actually change 1 or 2 of them around. I might dismiss one and put another one in, because your musical changes all the time. But I think this top 5 are absolutely solid, and I don't think I'll like any tracks more than these by the Shadows in 1970. So number 5, I have Riders in the Sky. Absolutely fantastic track, cover of Ghost Riders in the Sky, of course. It was released as a single in 1980, but it was on the 1979 album, so I thought I'd include it. If I was including the single, I would definitely include the B-side as well, because it had a fantastic B-side, Rusk, which is technically a 1980s track, so I didn't include that one. But number 5, Riders in the Sky. Number 4, beautiful vocal track. It was a contender for the Eurovision. It was written by Gary Benson. It's sung by Bruce again, and it's Don't Throw It All Away. Absolutely love it. Absolutely beautiful song. It's one of my favourite Shadows vocal tracks of all time. Number 3 is another vocal track, and it's It'll Be Me Babe, and Cliff covered this one on his Every Face Tells a Story album, which was produced by Bruce Welch. But as I said before, it's probably one of the tracks that Cliff and the Shadows did that I think I prefer the Shadows version, and I'm not going to say that too many times, but I think I prefer the Shadows version. I love just the harmonies and the guitars on it. They're absolutely fantastic, and John Farrell's falsetto really stands out as well. Great lead vocal by Hank as well, and harmonies by the other guys. Absolutely love It'll Be Me Babe. So number 2 is, I don't know whether many people would have this in their top 10, but I absolutely love it, and I think it came from the album Tasty, and it's Walk Don't Run, the cover of the Ventures classic. And I do believe that Norrie Paramore wanted the Shadows to record this as a follow-up to Apache. Now, I might have got that information wrong, but he wanted them to do that, but obviously they were well aware that the Ventures had a big hit, so they didn't want to go that way, and they did Man of Mystery instead. But Walk Don't Run, absolutely fantastic instrumental. I love the Ventures, but I love this 1970s version by the Shadows. Absolutely stunning standout track for me. Love it. So number 1, I don't think it's going to be a surprise. I think anybody that loves the Shadows would have this as their number 1 70s track, and it's Team from the Deer Hunter. Absolutely beautiful. The first time I heard it was on a VHS video that I had, which I bought out my confirmation money. It was Cliff and the Shadows together, reunion concert 1984, and they performed this in the Shadows track, and I absolutely loved it. Standout track on that VHS, and a standout track by the Shadows. So that's my top 10. And number 1 is Team from Deer Hunter. So I'm going to give you the top 10 real quick again. Is Prison Walkway, Song for Duke, Don't Cry For Me, Ernestina, Let Me Be The One, Rodriguez Guitar Concerto, Riders in the Sky, Don't Throw It All Away, It'll Be Me Babe, Walk Don't Run, and Team from the Deer Hunter. So just for fun, that was my top 10. I'm sure you'd have different types, different tracks in your top 10. You might choose 1 or 2 of mine, and you'd probably have some that you say, how did you not mention this one or that one? I love that version of Classical Gas as well. That was one of my first, probably the first Shadows track that I actually loved from the later years when I was a kid. Classical Gas, just absolutely fantastic. Comes from that album again, String of Hits. I think every track on that album is just an absolute winner as well. Understandably, number 1 album. But just for fun, that was my top 10. Any comments, leave them in the section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get loads more of my videos. Thank you, and bye.